90% of people who try to learn a new language never even make it to a level where they can have a basic conversation. So, statistically speaking, if you just keep doing what you're doing right now, you are probably going to fail. So you've got to ask yourself, why are you still not fluent after all those years of classes and, casual attempts? It's honestly because the system you've been sold is fundamentally flawed. But don't panic, because today we are breaking down the exact 3-step system that has literally taken thousands of students from absolutely zero to genuinely conversational in a matter of weeks, not years. Okay, let's kick things off with section 1, 3 language learning lies. Lie number 1. You need to study grammar to speak a language. I'm sorry, but this is complete rubbish. Just think about it for a second. When you were 2 years old, did your mom sit you down at the kitchen table with a textbook and a bunch of multiple choice exercises? Of course she didn't. You learned by listening and repeating sentences over and over again. Grammar is a side effect of learning a language. It is not a prerequisite. I mean, you can spend 5 whole years studying verb tables and still completely freeze up when a native speaker asks you a basic question on the street. Seriously, if you have a grammar book sitting next to you right now, literally throw it in the bin. It is only slowing you down. Moving on to lie number 2. Gamified apps make you fluent. Spoiler alert, they don't. Most of them are a massive waste of time because they're designed to be addictive, not actually effective. Ask yourself, how many people do you actually know who have a 500 days streak on some colorful app but can genuinely speak their target language? Probably 0, right? You're essentially just playing a video game that happens to have a language theme. All those points and daily streaks mean absolutely nothing if you can't understand a native speaker talking at normal speed or respond in a way that actually makes sense. And that brings us to lie number 3, passive immersion. Now, this is the lovely idea that you can just passively watch TV shows or listen to podcasts, and somehow you'll just naturally absorb the language. Trying to learn a language by passively watching television is exactly like trying to learn how to swim by sitting on your sofa watching Olympic swimmers. I mean, sure, you might pick up a few things, but unless you actually jump in the pool and actively practice, you are going to drown when you hit the water. Your brain absolutely needs active practice and a structured system. Which leads us perfectly into step 1, language islands. Now, the huge problem with traditional learning is that you memorize all this random vocabulary generated by an app, words you will probably never ever use. Why on earth would you learn random vocabulary before mastering the phrases you actually need every single day? Instead, what we call a language island is a blueprint of complete, full sentences that you can use immediately. These are topics that matter to your actual life. What do you talk about at work? What are your hobbies? For this explainer, we are going to imagine your goal is B1 German, and we'll build our islands entirely around everyday routines. So here is exactly how you build them. For a few days, I want you to talk to yourself out loud. Yes, you will look a bit mad, but just go with it. Narrate your day into a speech-to-text app on your phone. When you're making breakfast, say, I'm going to have eggs and coffee. When you're annoyed at the office, say, this meeting could have been an email. Capture absolutely everything. After a few days, you're going to have pages of incredibly valuable text. Then you just use AI to translate all of those specific sentences into your target language. So in our case, natural B1 German. Boom, you've now got thousands of sentences that are completely personalized to you, entirely bypassing those generic, boring textbook phrases. And the truly brilliant part here? By learning full sentences, you absorb the grammar patterns automatically. Right, let's move on to step 2, audio and shadowing. So you take those translations you just made, you generate some AI audio, and you begin shadowing. This just means repeating out loud exactly what you hear. Let's actually do a live demonstration right now using our morning routine. First, you get the English translation, I drink coffee in the morning. Second, the slow German. Ich trinke am Morgen Kaffee. Third, the natural B1 speed. Ich trinke am Morgen Kaffee. Now you do a silent pause to shadow it yourself. And finally, the concise grammar explanation, am Morgen uses the dative case for time. See how that flows? You just do this exact sequence on repeat for all of your personalized sentences. As the source material powerfully states, you're making the language physical, not just mental. You absolutely must train your mouth to produce these specific sounds to build that crucial muscle memory. I know, it feels really uncomfortable at first. You might worry that your pronunciation is awful, but honestly, you just have to embrace the discomfort. Ignore the perfectionism and ignore anyone who criticizes you. The truth is, native speakers really don't care if you make mistakes. Just focus on communicating and getting your mouth used to the physical act of speaking a new language. Which brings us to the final piece of the puzzle. Step 3, active recall. Active recall. Now, listening and shadowing are great, but they're still somewhat passive. Active recall is where the magic happens. It's where you force your brain to produce the language from scratch. You take one of your English sentences, and without peeking at the translation, you try to say it out loud in your target language. And look, you will struggle. You will definitely get it wrong. But getting it wrong, feeling that intense frustration, and then finally seeing the correct answer is exactly what creates a sticky memory. That friction you're feeling, that is your brain actually learning. To take this to an advanced level, start role-playing your daily life. Mentally rehearse ordering that coffee, or practice some spatial grammar on your daily walk. You could say, Ich gehe in den Park, to practice the accusative case for movement, versus Ich bin im Park, using dative for location. By creating these real mental situations, you are effectively training your brain not to freeze up when you face these exact scenarios in an actual, real-life conversation.
Okay, Section 4. The daily 30-minute routine. Let's talk about how to intelligently use your time.
Here is exactly how it maps out. In the morning, while you're brushing your teeth and getting dressed, you have your audio playing and you are shadowing. Boom, that's 20 minutes done right there. During your commute, you're just listening again. Then, on your lunch break, you do 15 minutes of high-intensity active recall, really testing yourself on those sentences. Finally, in the evening right before bed, you do another intensive active recall review. Research actually shows that reviewing just before sleep dramatically improves retention. It all adds up to just 30 minutes of dedicated, highly focused practice, while the rest just seamlessly blends into the dead time of your existing day. Now, let's manage expectations for a second. If you do this consistently, week 1 is going to be hard. You'll struggle to remember even simple sentences. But stick with it, because by week 3, the patterns are going to start clicking. Sentences that took you 3 seconds to formulate will suddenly take 1. And by week 6, you will be genuinely conversational. You'll still have gaps, you'll still make mistakes, but you will actually be able to express complex ideas and understand most of what you're hearing. Before we wrap up, let's look at Section 5, the bonus hack, pre-input comprehension. Usually, if you try to watch native content as a beginner, you understand maybe, 10%? The rest is just noise, and honestly, you learn very little from it. Instead, try this. Before you watch a video, get the transcript. Study it first. Memorize any new words you don't know. Then, go back and watch the video. Suddenly, your comprehension shoots up to 70 or even 90%. Your brain isn't just wildly guessing anymore, it's actually recognizing connections. You literally turn incomprehensible noise into highly enjoyable, sticky practice. At the end of the day, all of this probably sounds like a lot of hard work. And you know what? It is. Anyone who tells you that learning a language requires no effort is just straight up lying to you. But the massive difference here is that this specific, focused work actually produces real-world results. So you have a choice. You can spend another 2 years tapping colorful icons on a gamified app and sitting in traditional classes without ever actually speaking, or you can commit to 6 weeks of intelligent, focused practice and start having actual conversations. The choice is completely yours. Are you going to keep clinging to those comfortable lies, or are you ready to switch to what actually works and build your very first language island today? Have a think about it. Thanks so much